like cyanide and churn through millions of tons of rock.
Mining is a dirty business. It creates
Deep open pits and huge dams filled with hazardous waste.
And yet even President Biden said we need more mines in order to make
solar panels, wind turbines, and so much more.
All are made from minerals that come from mines.
We expect the demand for them to increase by 400 to 600%.
That's the reason years ago this man tried to open what he called Pebble Mine in this remote section of Alaska. Seems like a good place for a mine. So Pebble hired hundreds of people to conduct the scientific study required to ask for permission to open a mine. But before Pebble even got its application in, the EPA vetoed Pebble.
They decided to kill this project before any science had been done.
Why? Because environmentalists claim
Pebble Mine would be a catastrophic threat to the wildlife and people that depend on this fragile ecosystem.
That ad was made by the Natural Resources Defense Council. It's a rich environmental group that has cozy relations with EPA officials.
They're very close, aren't they? The NRDC guys go to work for... They're sleeping with each other?
Figuratively.
I asked the NRDC spokesman about that.
Your people are working for the EPA now. And EPA people come to work for the NRDC, colluding with big liberal regulators.
NRDC is a source of expertise, and sometimes the government takes advantage of that.
Years later, a Republican administration removed the EPA's veto. That allowed the Army Corps of Engineers to study the mine, and they concluded it wouldn't result in long-term changes in the health of the fisheries. So is Pebble a bustling mine today? No.
The mine will not be built.
President Biden vetoed it again. I don't get it. He just said we need the minerals.
Pebble Mine is become the poster child that they want to stop. But it's not the only one.
Physicist Mark Mills writes about how environmental groups and regulators have killed new mines in America.
Why in the world would you put millions and millions, maybe billions of dollars at risk, spending those decades to get a permit, knowing there's a very good chance they'll just cancel the permit illegally, summarily? I have a pen. Boom.
It happens often.
The Biden administration dealt a death blow to Twin Metals' plans for a copper nickel mine.
How in the world do you build mines in America knowing that that's the landscape you have?
The new president may change that, but our piles of accumulated regulation will make that hard. America now ranks next to last in time it takes to develop a new mine.
You start applying for permits, you're going to be waiting not months, not years. The record shows decades.
And if a mine is approved, the Natural Resources Defense Council will run ads like this.
Imagine this natural paradise destroyed by a 2,000-foot gaping hole in the ground.
Yeah, it's a big hole. It's a tiny, infinitesimal pinprick in the landscape.
Flying over mines like Pebble, you see nothing but wilderness for miles.
What I was struck by is just the vastness of the territory and how tiny the footprint that we were disturbing.
And we need to disturb it a little.
We need metals and materials and minerals to build everything that exists to make society possible.
Roads, buildings, cell phones, medical equipment. It's kind of funny. The NRDC touts clean energy, saying it creates jobs.
We created 50,000 new jobs in this country, putting up wind turbines, solar panels, building the next generation of energy-efficient cars. This is where the future is.
We also need copper and gold.
Well, that's right, and we have to weigh those risks.
But they don't really weigh them. They oppose all American mines.
America doesn't need any more environmental disasters.
Even though clean energy needs the minerals.
Windmills, solar panels, and batteries require a massive increase.
There are some mines where NRDC says, great, go ahead.
Well, it's not up to us.
Are there any?
Yeah, it's not up to us to greenlight mines. But what
Are
we do
there any
is,
you don't complain about?
Oh yeah, sure.
He said he'd send us some names, but the NRDC never did. And that was 9 years ago. We ask again this year. Again, no names.
Well, don't hold your breath. The mines that they implicitly support are in Africa, South America.
Implicitly, because they don't say that.
They don't say it. But the Green Movement has been perfectly happy at outsourcing mining for decades to disadvantaged countries where there are thousands of children in bare feet working by hand with shovels, digging minerals out of the earth.
An army of children are at the heart of the mining production, wearing no shoes and in the most wretched conditions.
At least in America, there are child labor laws, advanced equipment that makes mining safer, and environmental rules. You'd think the environmentalists would want more mining in America.
To have a sane world, we should be doing a lot more of it. Not all of it, but none of it.
America once led the world in producing minerals. Now we depend on other countries for 100% of many of them.
Not a good thing. Society can't exist without mines.